we asked your mum to come bring some down. And I thought she was going to bring a couple pieces of UBE.
Yeah.
She managed to smuggle in a whole suitcase. Like
60 kilos.
Yeah, mate, a proper suitcase
60 kilos of UBE.
And she came and goes, Omar, take this upstairs. And I remember lifting it up like step by step, trying to take it up the stairs. It was heavy.
They were massive.
And she just unzipped it, pulled it open.
Also, I think that's the first time.
It was like that scene from Pulp Fiction when they open up the suitcase and
I've seen Pulp Fiction.
You seen it?
I've seen it.
When Samuel Jackson and John Travolta open up the suitcase at the end.
Yeah.
And then what was in the suitcase?
I can't remember, but I've seen it.
Trick question. No one knows what's in it. See, anyway, let's move
I've
forward.
seen Pulp Fiction. Anyway, that's not the issue. Also,
yeah, and I remember your mum.
Oh, he just tried to get me on camera. Okay.
I remember we making ice cream with your brother, and I bought it from John Lewis, a small little tub, a little ice cream churner.
Yes.
Like a dual-lit.
Even though we had our real, like, Cadabriga FA, we just
wasn't wired in. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I'm just saying, batches. We had to still do that.
We had this 23 grand, but back then it's still a lot of money now, but yeah, it wasn't wired in, and I bought a little 80-pound ice cream churner. And I thought, let's make some UBE ice cream. So we just boiled the potato.
I think that was actually the first time I saw UBE in real life.
And this was some organic, wild, like,
it wasn't like
potent or UBE, because I remember after a few days, roots were growing out of the suitcase. I'm like, shit, we better deal with this.
Yeah.
So we took it, made it, and
I remember my mom being like, Omar, you need to cook this now. Yeah. And you kept on being like, yeah.
I was a bit intimidating. It was intimidating. Yeah, it was intimidating looking at it. But yeah, I remember we made it with your brother. And we tasted it.
We were so excited as well.
Yeah, we were super excited. We tasted it. And me and Moya looked at each other like, damn, this tastes like shit. This tastes like shit. Fuck. We're opening up in 2 weeks. What do we do? And like, yeah. And then we realized there was a bigger process we needed to do to create make a halaya.
Yeah.
Right? Halaya is like an UBE jam.
An UBE jam, correct.
Yeah. Would you like to explain that more?
Yeah, I think if you cook and eat UBE in its raw form, it has like a flavor profile of a potato, like a sweet potato. It has like a sticky texture as well. So like in order for you to really get that sweetness out of the UBE, you have to boil it for a long time, wait for it to chill.
The gluten needs to come out.
So you can see that vibrant purple. And after that, like you boil it with sugar again for a long time, and then you make halaya. And there's so many different ways to make halaya, which is like an UBE jam. So you either cook it up with sugar and milk or something along those lines. But when you do that and you cook it up with those with milk or sugar, the taste is
the flavors
amazing.
Change completely. So
different.
Yeah, and it becomes reminiscent of what you're used to. You boil an UBE and you taste it. It tastes like
potato.
It tastes like a potato. At least I would have thought it tasted like a sweet potato, but it don't even taste like a sweet potato. It's not even as sweet as a sweet potato.
It's very earthy.
Mate, I would make chips out of it.
Yeah,
and I didn't realize like every time I've tried UBE, it's always been dessert based. So I always thought it was naturally sweet, but it isn't naturally sweet.
It kind of tastes like
it's a little sweet,
like a sweeter cassava. That's kind of what it tastes like, a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's used in some recipes as a savory dish. I've never tried any Filipino savory dishes that have UBE. So if anyone's out there, is anyone who likes to cook with UBE, in particular savory dishes, bring it down, please. I would love to try it.